How many languages do you speak? Identify these languages.
Hello everyone, I am Princess May Emalas and I speak two languages, Ilocano and Tagalog.
What is your first language or mother tongue? And second language?
My first language or my mother tongue is Ilocano, while my second language is Tagalog.
How did you acquire your first language or mother tongue?
I acquire my first language or my mother tongue because of exposure. I am exposed to our environment, to my parents, to my aunties, to my siblings, and to the community.
How did you learn your second language?
I also learned my second language through the environment, especially whenever I watch TV and it just enhanced when I enter school.
What are your language strengths?
My language strength is that I can use it in broadcasting.
What are your language weaknesses?
My weakness in language is that I cannot really understand deep Ilocano words even though my mother tongue is Ilocano.
What is your favorite language?
My favorite language is Ilocano because I like the way how they want to express their feelings through saying the words to their loved ones and especially their intonation on how they say the words.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Siti Fatima Kamat Mindaila and I can speak five languages. These are Maguindanaon, Filipino, English, Hiligaynon, and Ilocano. My first language or mother tongue is Maguindanaon because I am a Muslim. And I learned it from my parents because both of them are also a Maguindanaon or a Muslim. My skills is I can sing using my mother tongue or my first language. My second language is Filipino or Tagalog and I learned it from school. My skills is I can also sing using my second language. My language strength is I can communicate using those five languages easily with different people. My language weakness is spelling. For instance, I know that word in Maguindanao, but I don't know how to spell it. My favorite language is, of course, my mother tongue, which is Maguindanao, because I can communicate with my family and friends easily, and I just love being a Maguindanao.
I speak three languages, Hiligaynon, Tagalog, and English. My first language is Hiligaynon. I acquired Hiligaynon through environment since both of my parents are using it to interact with others. By using Hiligaynon, I can easily communicate to the local people in our barangay. My second language is Tagalog. I learned it through watching television. By using Tagalog, I can easily communicate not only the people in Manila but also to the local people of Sultan Kudarat, such as our brothers and sisters Muslim, Ilocanos, Tipoli, and many more. My language strength is Hiligaynon. I can easily communicate using Hiligaynon. My language weakness is English. Sometimes it's hard for me to construct a sentence and speak fluently using this language. My favorite language is Hiligaynon. Given that I grew up using this language, I am also very confident using this language.
So, good morning everyone. Today, we will be filing the language biodata form. But before that, I will introduce myself. I am Quinones Marlita R. And now, we will start answering those questions. First question is, how many language I can speak? and identify them. So, I can speak 4 different languages. These are Ilocano or Iloco, Hiligaynon, Tagalog, and English. Second is, what is or my mother tongue or my first language? So, my first language is Tagalog. Third question is, how did I acquire my first language? I believe I already acquired it by always hearing my family's conversation when I am a child, because when they are communicating with each other, they are using Tagalog language. Fourth, what skills I can perform using my first language. So, through my first language or Tagalog language, I can speak, write, read, sing, and communicate with other people who cannot speak Ilocano or Hiligaynon, like our brothers and sisters in Muslim. Fifth is, what is my second language? So, my second language is English. Sixth question is, how did I learn my second language? So, I learned to speak English by always attending school. Seventh question is, what skills I can perform using my second language? So, through my second language, I can perform to read, to write, to sing, and to communicate with others with the simple words. Next, eighth question is, what is my language strength? So, my language strength is I can easily understand simple words, reading some poem, and communicate with others. So, 9 is, what is my strength weaknesses? So, my strength weaknesses is cannot understand deep words, and sometimes when I am communicating or chatting with other or with someone, I've used wrong grammar. Then, when I am writing essay, I cannot straight to the point my what I want to write, because I'm not good in English. Then last question is, what is my favorite language? Favorite language is Ilocano, because I believe Ilocano words are sweetest than the others, like ay ayatang kalaunay or agad annad ka. And these are conclude of my filing of my biodata form. And
It's 3. These are Hiligaynon, Tagalog, and English. I acquire Hiligaynon because this is the language in my area. Balay ko sa langit, nagasiga-siga. Balay ko sa langit, nagasiga-siga. Balay ko sa langit, nagasiga-siga. Sa likod sang panganod. My language strength are I can communicate well and I use it in my daily lives. My language weakness is not applicable in all places because we cannot deny the fact that we have an different tradition and cultures. My favorite language is Hiligaynon because I'm proud to say that I'm a Ilonggo. I know how to sing just like this. Ang mga ibon na lumilipad ay mahal ng Diyos, di kumukupas. Ang mga ibon na lumilipad ay mahal ng Diyos, di kumukupas.
How many language do you speak? I speak 3 language, which is Filipino, English, and Hiligaynon. What is your first language? My first language is Hiligaynon. How did you acquire your first language? I acquired it through my parents. What skills can you program using your first language? My skills I can program using my first language is I can speak in many people, like public speaking and speech, which are your second language? My second language is Filipino. How did you learn your second language? I learned it from school because my teacher always talk in Filipino. What skills can you program using your second language? The skills I develop using my second language is writing a poem or tula. What are your language strengths? My language strengths is mostly is English. Ay Hiligaynon I mean. Because in Hiligaynon I can speak with more emotion and I can speak it fluently. What are your language weakness? My language weakness is Filipino because I cannot speak it fluently and mostly I cannot understand what words I will use in using this language. Which language is your favorite and why? My favorite language is English because all the songs that I love in my favorite songs is using English language. So that my favorite language is English.
How many languages do you speak? Identify these languages.
So, I speak three languages, which is Tagalog, Hiligaynon, and English.
What is your first language or mother tongue?
So, my first language or mother tongue is Tagalog.
How did you acquire your first language or mother tongue?
So, I acquired my first language or mother tongue by listening to my surroundings.
What skills can you perform using your first language?
I can sing a song by my first language. Ay kubo, kahit munti, ang alaman doon ay sari-sari, singkamas at talong, sigarilyas at mani. Yun lang.
What is your second language?
So, my second language is Hiligaynon.
How did you learn your second language?
I learned my second language because of my mother.
What skills can you perform using your second language?
So, I can sing Ako Mali Pa Yon. Ako mali pa yon, ikaw mali pa yon, kita tanan mali pa yon.
What are your language strengths?
So, the strength of my language is I can communicate very well with other people with my second language.
What are your language weaknesses?
So, the weaknesses in my language is speaking Hiligaynon in our classroom because in our classroom we are diverse, there are different cultures.
Which language is your favorite and why?
So, my favorite language is Tagalog because that is my first language and I will cherish it for the rest of my life.
Good day everyone, my name is Christine Sabremonte. So for today, let's talk about my language biography. The language that I speak are four, namely in Ilocano, Tagalog, English, and Hiligaynon. My first language or mother tongue is Ilocano. I acquire my first language or mother tongue through interaction within my family. The skills that I can perform using my first language is singing Ilocano song. Since my religion is Espiritista, so most of the song there is Ilocano songs. My second language is Tagalog. I learned my second language through interaction with my peers and also enrolling and entering in the school society. I can perform singing Tagalog songs using my second language and sometimes writing a short poem.
My language strength is my national language, Filipino, because I grow up that surrounded by Filipino people and I can easily communicate to other people using this language and also express my emotions. My language weaknesses are three: English, Bisaya, and Hiligaynon. My favorite language is Ilocano and Tagalog. Ilocano because it is my parents' ethnicity, and Tagalog because I can easily communicate to other people, especially to my peers, friends, and classmates. And also, when it comes to writing poem and reading comics.
Fugafuon, how many language do I speak? I speak Tagalog, I speak Tiduray, I speak Bisaya, I speak Hiligaynon, I speak English, a little bit of Ilocano, and Muslim. It's my first language or mother tongue. The first one is Tagalog and Tiduray. How did I acquire these languages? I acquired these languages because this is how they speak at home. Use this skill of language to communicate with my surroundings and at home. My second languages is through those around me and those I watch. I can perform using my second language is to adjust and for us to understand each other. My language strengths are Tagalog because this is the way I can communicate with my fellow Filipinos. Weaknesses are Karaya because even though Hiligaynon and Karaya are the same, but they are not the same with the pronunciation. My favorite language is Tiduray because even though I'm not that fluent to speak Tiduray, this is where I came from and I'm proud of it. My second language is Karaya and English.
Hello everyone, my name is Judy Ann P. Anyana. The languages that I speak are Hiligaynon, Tagalog, and English. My first language is Hiligaynon. I acquired my first language from my parents and surroundings. My skills can perform using my first language is singing. My second language is Tagalog. I learned my second language through school and my cousins. Singing, for example, kung ako mali pa yun, kung ikaw mali pa yun, kita tanan mali pa yun. Kung ako mali pa yun, kung ikaw mali pa yun, kita tanan mali pa yun. Saot, jutay, hawak iki ay, kamot ikaw ay kaway, libot gamay. Saot, jutay, hawak iki ay, kamot ikaw ay kaway, libot gamay. My language strength is to speak fluently to other people. My language weakness is can't deliver it properly. My favorite language is Hiligaynon because when I was a child, that is the language that I knew.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. I am Saraida Asdiwata, a first-year B.Ed student at Sultan Kudarat State University. And now, I am going to answer the questions in language biodata form. I speak 4 languages, and these are Magindanaon, Tagalog, English, and Hiligaynon. My first language or mother tongue is Magindanaon. I acquired my first language in my parents because our family is Islam. So they use Magindanaon when they are talking or when they are talking to me. The skill that I can do with my first language is I can sing a song through Magindanaon even though I'm not good at singing. My second language is Tagalog. When I am in my elementary days, teachers and other students uses Tagalog language, so I think I learned it from them. I can easily talk with my friends and other people in school. I think my language strength is I can speak Tagalog, and by that, I can easily communicate to other people in school or in community. I think my language weakness is I cannot straightly speak in English. My favorite languages are Maguindanaon and Tagalog because in school or in my community, I can easily talk or communicate with my friends and other people.